Hey everybody, it's Deborah. I wanted to show you some of the things that I've been working on. I've been doing a lot of little odds and ends. So while I'm in Florida, I try to work on smaller projects, especially because this year it's been hard for me to slowly gather what I need to have a sewing room that I am in a second bedroom. I'm newer to making things that are not quilts, and so starting out I've done several things that are not quilts, whether it was from a YouTube video of somebody else showing, but this is Bozel. It's a stiff, and there's different brands out here, but this is the one I tried. But it's great for purses, it's great for placemats, it's great for bags. It'll help your bags stand up and give it thickness. And so it's great stuff. So I've kind of gotten crazy about it. I want to know what are all the things that it will do. So here is, this is the first one. This is just a little evening bag, so that if I'm going somewhere, I just want my phone, my small wallet. So here's what of course I wear it on my shoulder. And the band is just a trim from the fabric store, which is actually sparkly, but I like it because it's elastic, very durable, but it looks, it has a very glittery look. So it's a very simple pattern that I've used for this purse. Here's the inside, and you may not be able to see that well. Let's see. There's a pocket inside, so I can put things on two compartments in there. To show you, but the pocket inside divides all the way down, so I can put like keys on one side and my phone on the other side, and I really need something like that because I know I put my keys in, and if it's in the same pocket, I'm gonna scratch that phone up. Now my phone, it looks like it's been through a war, but still I gotta try to not destroy it. But I just wanted two pockets, and it's a very simple construction. So it was just a fun, fast project, and then I happened to have this is a pendant for a necklace, and I didn't get the right necklace to go around my neck, and I grabbed it, thought this will look really fun right there. And then I used Velcro for opening and closing, because this is just my little quick little bag that I grab if we're going out to dinner. It's fun to have just something a little extra pretty. So that was a really fun, and the Bozel works so nice with that because no matter what I do, it comes back to the same size. It's that nice. If you haven't used some of this before, it's great stuff. Then another thing that I did is this one is a big project for me. So this is a duffel bag for my husband. And I have never made anything like this before. It's like I said, I haven't done a lot of bags, but I'm starting to feel like I'm coming into this phase of bags because the Bozel just makes it look so good. So this is, he is a hunter, and it's a duffel bag pattern. I am a beginner, so luckily this was for my husband because if it's imperfect, he doesn't really notice. It didn't come out completely round, but anytime I do a project for the first time, the first one is you need to give it to someone you love because it's not going to be perfect. But I did like how this turned out. He asked for another one in a different size, which I thought, now I created a monster because I don't. This is the first time I've done it. Now he wants a different size, but it was very easy. It was very easy to just measure what he said he wanted for length and adjust that pattern. And then this nice webbing. So far have used nice webbing because I like the look of that better than a webbing that you've covered, for him especially, covered with fabric. I want it to be very more masculine. So that has been, he has loved this, and the one that goes with it. Then this is another one I did. And this is super fun, and I'm going to show you this today. This is super fun. This is a slow stitch pincushion. I had no pincushion when I came down here, and actually I don't have many pins yet because I just don't yet. But I have scraps, and I love scrap projects, and I love using up my scraps. I have all these scraps, which unfortunately the bag is filling up again. This is my bag of scraps down here. I have a lot more of them in my, this is just our vacation house, so I have a lot less of things here, which is the goal, because it's a small house. But I digress. So lots of scraps. What can I make with them? And so I made that pin cushion, and I did it using, if you'll see on there, I used embroidery stitches and big stitch. Now I did this one completely by hand. You can do it with a sewing machine too. And here's another piece. This is going to be my next one that I'm going to cut out and do for another pin cushion. But let me show you, let me get it real close for you. And here's how I do it. I'm going to show you on a small piece. Oh wait, I got one more thing to show you. This is awfully fun. This is for my water bottle. Now this was a pattern that I found on YouTube free. I'll try to link it below. And I love to use, I'm just fascinated with upcycling. So this was a pillowcase. It was just one we really weren't using, but I love the fabric. So I decided to cut it apart and make this quilted bag. So my water bottle goes in here at the top. I made sure it actually is, it's actually big enough. You could put a whole wine bottle in here. I might do that, who knows. But the pocket, it has you can't see, it's kind of disappearing because I used the same fabric. Now I did that because this was the first time I've done this pattern. Like I said, always know that it's going to be like, you know, we'll see how it turns out first time I do it. The pattern, the pocket, it was good that I did it with a matching because it's a little wonky, but I know now what I would do better next time. But this fabric was not quilted, so I quilted it before I sewed it. And then this one I used a cotton webbing underneath. It's just the kind that comes in a natural color. And then I did cover this one, because it's for me, with the fabric. I also made it really long, and it might be too long, but I wanted to be able to use it when I'm walking with it across my body. I just like that better than I'm hands-free. If I make some for other people, I might make it shorter. Like I'm guessing my daughter, who's in her late 20s, so I'm guessing she would probably like it shorter so that she could put it on one and it hits her under the arm. But that's what's nice about making things, is you can adjust them to the way you want. So I'm really pleased that, again, this is using the bozal. You see how it stands up itself. And then of course when I put the bottle in, it stands up too. But I can throw this in a bag, I can just wad this up, pack it away, and I open it back up and it's ready to go. So great stuff. My new little thing I like to do is how many ways can I use bozal? Because it's just super fun. So now, let's talk again about that pin cushion. So here's the pin cushion. This is done completely by hand. You can do it with machine, and I'll show you how you can. But we are going to, I'm going to slide you down here. So for this project, you can use pearl cotton. You can use the embroidery floss, which is what I am going to use. So here's my embroidery floss, and it's just a basic 6-strand. I am going to get 3 strands. Here is the needle that I'm going to use. Let's see if we can focus on it. It is, you may not be able to see that, but what it is, it's a large eye needle with a very sharp point. And this one is just over 1 inch long. I like it not to be too long, but I like it to be able to hold, you know, to be able to really easily hold it in my hands. So the first thing, actually, I did this wrong. I laid it down right sides together, but this is all raw edge, because you can see this is all raw edge that I've then added stitches to, and it'll be kind of flyaway edges, and that's what I wanted. That's the look I wanted on this one. And so I'm going to overlap these, and to anchor this down to start sewing, I'm going to just, I can feel that this right here is where my batting is. I'm going to start up from the bottom and about a 1/4 inch from the edge. I'm now going to do just a simple running stitch. Now, this does not have to be super even. I certainly doesn't bother me if it's uneven. Now, well, you can see already that it is barely showing up. Let me move this so I can get a little straighter. Barely showing up because of this heavy pattern, but you'll see in a minute how it'll show up on other things. Okay. Knot that off there, because we're going to be cutting off that edge anyway. Another knot. And let's go with, oh, what do we have here? Should we do, nah. This is fun. So this is a bias. Now because, not a bias. Okay, so you can see this is the edge of the fabric that is frayed, but it's not gonna, this is the selvage, there's the word I'm looking for. It's not gonna go anywhere because this is the selvage, so it's already, it's gonna be fluffy, but it's not gonna fray there. So I lay it over so it's like a 1/2 inch, maybe not quite that. And then again, I'm gonna start with my knot on the bottom. And I'm gonna, there's this little ridge, this little edge here. I'm gonna sew right next to it. That way I'll see the line of thread and also the embroidery floss. So now you see the green doesn't really show up much, but that's okay. You can switch threads to things that are more contrasting if you like. For the sake of this, I'm just gonna keep going with this piece. We'll go a little bit farther so we're really off the edge. All right. And you're going to continue that all the way down. Okay, so again, using this piece that I showed you, that I used, the backing was a scrap, and the front is all scraps. And all of the stitching, you can see the stitching went this way, and then I turned it and the stitching went this way. You can quilt as much as you want on these. You can keep going. I could do lines this way and that way. Whatever you think, whatever feels good to you. That's what I love about these projects. All right, okay. So I'm gonna then cut squares out of this for my pincushion. So I'm gonna make it even. As you stitch, things do get wonky. That is why we trim. And okay, I'm gonna straighten up this edge. So if I wanted, I could make it that big. Now the one I made is smaller, but you know what? I like that a little bit bigger. I'm gonna lose some of that size because when we sew together, and I am gonna cut this in half. So it looked like half was, let me do that again. Half was right at that edge where the white is. Now you see, I should measure that, but I didn't. You don't have to. I didn't have to. You can. Okay, so now I am going to put the right sides together. Yeah, here's another trick, is you can also line it up here if it's... Okay, right sides together. I am going to stitch around all the way around. I am going to leave one side open about this much so that I can turn it and stuff